The president should not have been absent at a time when the rights of an individual were now being trampled underfoot. I am not prepared to do this. All of us must be equal before the law. It cannot happen in this way. I'm sorry.
Honorable Lekota.
Madam Deputy Speaker, I have listened to you very carefully. And in terms of Section 89 of this Constitution, I do think I did not violate the rights that I'm given here under Section 89. The rights given here under Section 89 is that we are entitled, and in fact we are obliged under the Constitution, to scrutinize the performance of the President and his failures. We must bring them to the attention of the nation. I continue to hold firmly the points that you made and others which I made as to why the President, I contend, broke his oath of office remain valid in our view. And I'm unable, therefore, to withdraw what I said before this House.
Honorable Speaker.
I am unable. My conscience does not allow me to withdraw.
Then if you are unable, you know what to do, Honorable Speaker. And I now ask you to please withdraw them.
Lekota remained unrepentant to leave the House. Opposition parties followed him out in solidarity. Later, Lekota slammed his dismissal as undemocratic.
This is not what I went to Robben Island for 2 times. This is not what I was detained for 2 times. This is not what I abandoned my family and friends and everybody. This is not the kind of freedom I thought I was giving my life for.
Before we continue with yesterday's developments in the House.
On Friday last week, the President's office defied an order by the Supreme Court of Appeals to hand over the abbreviated transcripts of the tapes that permitted criminal charges to be dropped or withdrawn against himself. As his office and his lawyers act daily, Deputy Speaker, I confirm indeed that I said what I said. As you know now, in fact, in that statement I said we are tabling a substantive motion in this House on that issue. I'm not withdrawing it because this is in fact, there are facts to back up what we are talking about. And that too is a matter before the courts of the nation. I don't want to appear to defy you. I must just submit, I will not again repeat this, but I am not able and I am not prepared to withdraw what I have said. What you are now doing in fact is to say that whether the courts have ruled or not, you will do the same thing that is before the courts. You are not prepared to wait and get the ruling of the courts on the matter. But when it comes to this minister, they have not been here for more than a month. You are not making a ruling on the matter.
To take the point of order.
Now you wanted to it suits you to make this ruling on me. That's why you do it when they are not even here. I've been pleading with you, going to your office, that my reputation is at stake. You did nothing. The law says only the President can deploy the armed forces. I told you about that. You are not saying anything about it. You are not commenting about the fact that I could never, as a minister, deploy the armed forces
on a point of order, Deputy Speaker.
The President doing so.
Really abuse of the
I'm
House.
not prepared to accept this. I'm sorry.
Honorable Lekota.
In this country in which the Constitution does not allow the death sentence, the Constitution does not allow the death sentence, who is this authority who had the right to say to the police, shoot with live ammunition that was definitely going to take life? Who is this authority? Who gave the instruction for the police to kill? And why?
Proceed, sir.
Speaker, those minutes that I have lost, I hope you'll add them on, sir. Years we spent in exiles, in jails and all of that are worth nothing. Now I say again that I will not be silenced. I will not be silenced whilst those years we spent in exiles, in jails and all of that are worth nothing. Now I say again that I will not be silenced. I will not be silenced whilst those who are privileged forget that they come from the townships of Soweto, Mlazi, Mdantsane, that they come from nowhere. And now that they have climbed the seat of power, forget the people they left behind. They forget the homes from which they came. They forget their own people. Indeed, they forget that once we sat together in the prisons, eating mealies, promising ourselves that when the day shall come, we will be loyal to the wishes of our people, we will prioritize the people and make sure that there's a better life for all, as President Mandela first told us on Robben Island, then told us from this podium. A better life for all. Where is that better life for all? Look at the people, at our people at Olive Old Bush. Look at our people in Deep Slough. Look at our people in Danzani. Where is the better life for all? Can't we be ashamed of what we have done? What has become of us? In any event, more significantly, government, now we are being told that we are going to have to tax some more, but we are not being told. When are we going to, what is government doing to recover the 45 billion rand? They don't tell us about that. They tell us about how much tax we must pay. But why have you not, what are you going to do to recover? What are you going to do? What are you doing to recover the 45 billion rand that disappeared? What are you doing now? What are you doing today to recover our 200 million that went into Nkandla? What are you doing now to ensure that each and every one of these people that are being arrested with corruption pay for that? Instead, they get elected to the leadership of the ruling party. They go into the NEC and all of that. All of that is full of people. This one has stolen that. That one is in Travelgate. This one is in that. They are all in the national executive. Instead of punishing people who commit crime, the ruling party reward them with higher positions, not only in the party, but also in the government. We must tell these truths. If we don't tell this truth, we will be ourselves betrayed. The young people of our country, generations to come, will condemn us. So I refuse to be silent.
But nobody seemed to own it.
Nobody seems to own it. Nobody seems to own. Nobody seems to be working to ensure that this plan is accepted and then implemented. Because the Minister of Arts and Culture said that no, they are now going to implement the National Democratic Revolution. I want to know, what did they pass? Did they pass this plan, which we so urgently need implemented? What did they pass? What have they been prepared to go and do? That's the question. And that's why I go back to the question. This is a good plan, but will it be implemented? Will it be implemented? By whom? You see, this is what happened. This is what happened. I want to implement it, but you are the main player. The ruling party is the main player on the platform of our nation. Now you are adopting all kinds of other programs except this one. So I want to know, who's going to implement? Who's going to implement? It's a serious matter. The serious question is not all this long, beautiful speeches, flowery English language. It's the hard fact to do, to implement.
But he cited weaknesses in public institutions and a lack of leadership.
That's why when we send money to Limpopo, budget, we pass it here. But the children have no school books today. Because there's nobody to take the books to the children. Let me tell you something interesting. In this country, there's plenty capability to implement things. And if you stop for a moment, think about it. In this country, there are thousands of taverns. Every one of them every week is supplied with the necessary alcohol, beers and all of that. They never run out of stock. But when it comes to delivering books to school children, once a year, no capability. It's not because the country does not have capability. Deliver books to the children of our country once a year. Nothing. Whereas there's plenty capability in the country to deliver beer, every week make sure that every tavern is not running short of it.
Honourable Member,
The situation is not improving.
I announce that your time has expired.